Personal brands, yeah, they're not so personal anymore. Like, why is some random designer running the Instagram of Adobe? Or how about those reels from a transportation company that look like they were shot by an amateur driver? Yeah, the content is shifting right now. Today we'll talk about something very, very strange. Why are so many creators you follow end up working for major corporations? And more importantly, how can you stay independent, keep your freedom, and still make good money without signing away your soul? My name is Arthur Weiner. Let's break it down. First off, what even is a personal brand? Back in the early days, every YouTuber was kind of personal. Honestly, most of them didn't even realize content could become a business. That's why creators back then mostly made videos about what they actually liked. The first YouTube channels weren't these perfectly curated and filled with flawless trend watching or top-tier editing. No, was raw, unpolished, and straight from the heart. People wanted to express themselves or share what they were good at, and usually was stuff that genuinely mattered. Creators weren't even setting out to become celebrities. They just solved some problems and built fan bases around. That's where personal brand term came from. The people who thrived were the most genuine. Creators weren't just chasing cash, but actually trying to share something valuable, or at least some solid advice. Alright, back to reality. The game has totally changed. Nowadays, everyone knows content is a full-on money-making machine. In general, that is one of the easiest ways to attract the audience to a product, and more importantly, to sell a product, any product. So businesses have caught on to the power of bloggers. The old school creators saw the potential income, and a whole wave of new people jumped in the content industry to grab and monetize the attention. This led to the division of all YouTubers into creators, influencers, and personal brands. Now, this is just my personal take. Feel free to challenge me in the comments. The key difference between these groups, it's only about the way they treat themselves and their audience. And I speak about treating only, but not actually about doing and acting. Yeah, most of these folks are already being sold with their hands and souls in a bundle, but in each own and unique way. Let's break it down. First up, the creators. I mean those who focus almost entirely on entertainment like Instagram or TikTok stars, the ones who aren't tied to a specific niche, but instead chase a mass market appeal. They are all about grabbing attention from as many people as possible. Their income usually comes from standard platform monetization, affiliate deals, product sponsorships, and classic paid partnerships. Their content isn't exactly useful, and the same goes for their advertising. It's all aimed at the masses. Mainstream products, quick reviews, and surface level engagement. They're like outsourced marketers for big brands, helping them to achieve massive reach without forming any deep connection with the customers. That's why creators tend to work with brands looking for fast, wide exposure rather than long-term loyalty. It's all about casting the wide net without diving deep, and that's pretty much their whole thing. Nothing less, nothing more. Next up, the influencers. They usually focus on specific niches, making their content more stable and predictable, while creators have to ride every wave of trending topics. Influencers play the long game. They dive deep, build a strong connection, and stay consistent. Sure, influencers can also do entertainment, but they stick to clear boundaries and topics. Whether it's investing, fishing, movie reviews, tech, gaming, well, whatever it is, it's all about being immersed in the subject and consistently delivering content. If creators are like outsourced freelancers, the influencers often become an in-house and regular staff. Most influencers earn from long-term brand deals, sometimes even becoming the face of a brand or its permanent partner. Their audience trusts them way more than they would ever trust creators. That trust makes companies willing to spend bigger budgets and form deeper connections. And that's where things get interesting. Launching your own product is a natural next step for all the influencers. Just think about it for a minute. You've got the niche, you've built expertise, and at some point it just clicks in your head. Damn, I can help people while earning money at the same time. And yeah, personal brands also do this very often, which brings us to our next point. And finally, we got to the personal brands. Why aren't they personal anymore? Well, it's all about how personal brands earn money nowadays. The real personal brands used to grow and scale organically. Bloggers share their passions, problems, and solutions. This naturally affected fans and gave creators insight into what their audience truly cared about. And eventually, this led them to launch their own products. But now, personal brands aren't even the third group. They are kinda the upgraded influencers with their own marketing strategy. Might seem a bit off, but let me explain. These days, big companies are shifting their budgets away from influencers and creators. Sure, they still work with them, but why not just build their own personal brand around their product? Yes, I mean, why purchase an MKBHD product placing if purchasing the Hall and other Marques is available? And that's exactly what they are doing. Remember Adobe and that transportation company from the very beginning? Well, I have even more examples. Look at an airline Reels feature a charismatic tour guide with their kid, or Alo Yoga's Reels seem like they're shot by a local trainer. And you know what's the key? All these clips feel like they were made by amateur, small-time bloggers sharing their lifestyle, problems, and solutions. Like they're honestly sharing their passion about some products not being affiliated by corporations. In reality, these bloggers were made by big corporations. See where I'm going with this? Personal brands today aren't personal at all. Sure, they keep all the same traits, but the essence has changed. There's nothing personal about them. It's all business. Big companies realize that flashy ads and targeted marketing aren't as effective anymore, so they are pretending to be small, relatable creators to make people instantly trust and believe in their products. Honestly, it's just the tip of the iceberg. The real issue is that traditional personal brands can't keep up with these personal but corporate brands. Big companies can allocate massive budgets to create their content. They can build entire in-house production teams to fake authenticity and highlight their products' benefits. Want to know the funniest part? The established personal brands are happy to help. Check any account I've mentioned above. Among the company's usual posts, you'll find duets with famous personal brands in that product's niche. Yep, they are working for corporations too. And this brings us to the real issue. If you've been paying attention, you've noticed the pattern. All the groups I mentioned, whether they are influencers, creators, or even personal brands, all of them have one thing in common. They're all hired and educated staff, helping to sell products, but only with their all unique attitude to this fact. But here's the twist, and you might have already caught the spoiler. There is another way, something beyond promoting someone else's product or services. You can build your own business, stay authentic, and create content about what genuinely excites you. Sounds too good to be true, right? I get it, but let me hit you with one clear example to prove just how powerful and effective this approach can be. Let's talk about Kanye West. Probably heard about how he's been cancelled more times than anyone. The last time though was way more serious, no judgments at all. Let's just say Kanye managed to offend a lot of people, and we'll leave it at that. So, in 2022, he managed to do his latest marathon of wild statements. After this, Adidas, Gap, and Balenciaga decided they'd had enough and cut all ties with him. End of story, right? Well, they'd soon regret it. 2023 became Adidas's worst financial year since 1992. Cutting ties with Kanye cost them over $14 million in losses. Let that sink in. Kanye's personal brand was so powerful, Adidas barely survived the year without him. But by 2024, they bounced back, they made up for their losses, and posted insanely profitable quarterly reports. But what about Kanye? Did he fade into obscurity? No, Kanye kept being Kanye and went on to create his own product. And here's where it gets crazy. He didn't just launch a product, he went all in. The man spent $7 million to air its Super Bowl ad. Moreover, he filmed it on the front camera of his iPhone. Seriously. In the ad, he's just sitting in the backseat of his car, asking people to check out his website for some t-shirts. That's it. No over-the-top production, no elaborate campaigns, just raw authenticity. And you know what? It worked. Those t-shirts sold crazy numbers, raking in tens of millions of dollars. It becomes very clear. You don't need a big corporate partner. Kanye proved that by staying true to himself, being authentic, and betting on his own vision. If he can do it, why can't you? Yeah, not all of us are Kanye West, so the real question is, how do you build a personal brand strong enough to compete with those fake personal brands? The answer is pretty straightforward, but let me break it down for you. First, As you've probably guessed by now, you have to be authentic. If you're planning to build a successful personal brand, your main goal is to share your genuine interests and expertise. And if you don't have any expertise, well, what if I told you that it's actually better? Remember the beginning of the video? In the early 2010s, people created content to share their discoveries and solutions to everyday problems. None of them were 10-year veterans in their niche. So if you're starting from scratch, but you've found something you're truly passionate about, now is the perfect time to start creating content. Document your journey and share it. That's sometimes better than being an expert. Your audience will grow alongside you, experiencing the ups and downs of learning and mastering the craft. This kind of a shared journey creates an unbreakable bond with your viewers. It's not just a great way to explore your interests. Trust me, it's a proven path to becoming a top-tier creator. Now, here's another common concern. What should you do if your niche isn't so popular? Guys, this isn't a problem at all. Being a successful creator or building an incredible personal brand doesn't mean you have to become the next Mr. Beast. You don't need to be on every billboard. You don't even need million subs. Would it be cool if you got there? Well, sure, but that's not the point. All you need to do is present the problems in your niche in a way that's engaging and relatable. Your niche doesn't have to be popular, it just needs to be personally yours. In fact, some of the most successful creators thrive in super specific, unpopular niches. And the key is to make it resonate, make it matter. Let me give you a couple of simple examples. There's a doctor named Max who managed to rack up hundreds of thousands of views with videos about diabetes and weight loss. And Max focused on what his potential viewers really cared about, the things he genuinely understood, and presented them in an engaging way. Videos about Ozempic, weight loss secrets, and nutrition tips. All of this made him one of the most popular doctors on YouTube in his niche. Fun fact, I actually know Max personally. Yes, he is a client of our YouTube agency, and yeah, at first his videos only got a couple thousand views, but once we figured out the topics that really resonated with his audience, Max's channel exploded. Here's one more. Nicholas, who's an investor of all sorts. One of his videos, filmed right from his car, breaks down the basics of investing and common mistakes beginners make. Sounds like a dry topic, right? Investment advice isn't exactly Mr. Beast level exciting. Well, not at all. Look closer. This video has almost 1 million views, and he didn't shoot it on fancy camera with perfect lighting. The lesson here is simple. Your success isn't about your niche, it's about your positioning. Whoever you are, you can still build an amazing personal brand. By the way, both Nicholas and Max, along with nearly 200 other YouTube channels, have trusted our team at our online YouTube agency to take their content to the next level. We've worked with creators in every niche all over the world: real estate, tech, cooking, AI, fitness, and even ballet. We've already helped dozens of people grow their YouTube channels in Germany, US, and Canada as well. So instead of guessing what works, we want to give you a head start with a strategy designed specifically for your niche and audience. We won't just throw random advice at you. At our team, we want you to focus on one thing: being the best creator you can be. Your job is to shine on camera, share your passion, and connect with your audience. We will handle the rest. This means brainstorming video ideas that stand out, hook viewers with a fresh twist, and keep them coming back for more. We design thumbnails that practically beg to be clicked and outline scripts that are impossible to ignore. Not confident in your filming skills? That's okay, we've got your back. Our director can guide you one-on-one to set up a professional-looking home studio without breaking the bank. No fancy camera, no problem. Even your phone can deliver incredible results and will help you make it happen. And the support doesn't stop there. Once your footage is ready, we take care of editing, optimizing for SEO, and crafting titles, tags, and descriptions that make your videos discoverable. You bring the personality, we bring the strategy. Together, we'll create content that not only stands out but thrives in a crowded digital space. So if you're ready to skip the painful trial and error phase and take your channel to the next level, click the link in the description, fill out a quick form, and we'll build a personalized plan for your channel. Let's turn your YouTube dreams into reality and have fun doing it. And yet, here's another quick tip for all the aspiring creators out there who want to showcase their expertise. Your number one goal is to strike the perfect balance. Don't come across as too complex or overly simplistic. You don't need to document every tiny step of your process, nor should you try to sound like a walk-in book. Before you hit record or even start planning your content, ask yourself, what value value will this bring to my viewers? For example, let's say you are a nutritionist and you've crafted an amazing meal plan for yourself, but if your video starts with something like, look at how balanced and healthy my diet is, yeah, it might not land well. Now imagine flipping the script. Eat like this and you will drop all that extra weight. Or, these 3 foods will supercharge your health and burn fat. See the difference? Right from the start, your viewers know exactly why they should keep watching. The key is to find that sweet spot in your expertise or interests that genuinely solves problems. Now let's get to the main question of this video. How do you build a product around all this? This is a critical point, and it's great that we're diving into it now. Without the earlier advice on personal branding, launching a product would have been nearly impossible. Why? Simply because the first thing you need to know is what your audience actually cares about. And figuring this out is simpler than you think. If you've been following my advice, experimenting, and creating value for your viewers, you've probably started to notice some patterns. Certain topics get decent views, others don't perform as well. And then there are those bangers, the videos that blow up and rack up millions of views. Those hits, they are your goldmine. They reveal the biggest problems or pain points your future customers care about. So what are your options when creating a product? Most creators with a solid personal brand tend to focus on 3 main types: physical products or services, paid subscriptions like email newsletters or private communities, and digital info products. Let me break down the pros and cons of each. Physical products or services are probably the most straightforward monetization model. A lot of creators offer paid consultations or sell a service related to their expertise. But scaling this kind of business is tricky, simply because you can't clone yourself. If a video goes viral and it hits 10 million views, you'd have to limit the number of clients with sky-high prices just to manage the demand. And unless you build a solid business system or team around your expertise, you will hit a ceiling pretty quickly. So think carefully before diving into this route. Now let's talk about paid subscriptions. This could be an email newsletter, Patreon, or another exclusive platform. It's awesome for building a tight-knit community of superfans. Also, it allows you to go deeper with your most loyal followers, but you will need to constantly create content not just for your main channel, but also exclusive, high-quality material for your paid subscribers. Keep that in mind. And now, digital info products. This is where things get interesting. Info products have become the go-to method for monetizing your audience. And honestly, it makes total sense. You create a single high-quality, comprehensive piece of content once, and then you sell it on repeat until you decide to update or refine it. Plus, thanks to creators like Iman Gadzi, there is now a proven method for marketing these products. And moreover, this method not only drives sales, it also helps grow your audience. I'm talking about hour-long full guide videos. Here's how it works. You take your info product or a broad topic and turn it into one long, in-depth video. The key is to make the topic and title as engaging and broad as possible. Something like, how to make $1 million from scratch. Just copy this. First, this type of broad appeal format draws in new viewers and performs well in search. Second, a longer video like this essentially hacks YouTube's watch time metric, and platforms like YouTube want to promote content that keeps viewers engaged for longer. If your video is an hour long and it's genuinely compelling, viewers will stick around for 15-20 minutes on average. That kind of watch time gives the video a massive boost in the algorithm. So if you're just starting out with your first product as a personal brand, I highly recommend beginning with a paid resource or info product. The benefits are huge. You won't have to deal with complex business logistics or legal headaches. Instead, you can stick to what you already do best: create an amazing, high-value content with an exclusive twist. Just imagine this. You put together 30-lesson course that totals about 5 hours of content. All you need to do is create a long, engaging sales video. Essentially, that's a trailer for the course. In this video, share about 10% of the information from each lesson, and you're all set. You've got yourself a substantial, engaging piece of content that hooks viewers and sells your product. That being said, if you decide to put this idea of creating a business out of your content, remember this: without a product, you won't be able to stay an independent creator for long. The corporate personal brands are only getting more competitive, so if you've been waiting for a sign to start making videos, this is it. Start now. It's only going to get tougher from here. And if you want a head start and a smoother path to success, my team is here to help. The link is in the description. Will save you time, money, and stress, making your journey as a creator as seamless as possible. Hit the subscribe button, leave a like, and I'll see you next time.